Oh yeah, did you guys see this?
Question,
Check this out.
I don't think anybody could have predicted this. Somehow the answer seems to be no.
Crossing on the wires, Sean
Bro is not about to serve a single day in jail.
Diddy Combs is found not guilty on the racketeering conspiracy charge in this
Bro.
federal case.
No fucking way.
Here's another alert.
I got a little joke for you. Bro used that baby oil so much that not even charges will stick to him. He's gonna toot this victory like sliding paper through his cheeks that are filled with oil, man.
Combs found not guilty.
He's gonna win this, no problem.
Of his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Apparently, the two sentences that he is being charged with carry a maximum of 10 years each. And I doubt he'll serve a single day of that.
Here's another one. Combs found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs found...
Which is like, that's nothing. Oh, driving a hoe around?
Keeps Dan you ever can think of, or worst. Yeah, but like... But here's the kicker. His sentence was so bad that the guy that represented Osama bin Laden walked away from it. Let that sink in. The same lawyer that represented Osama bin Laden walked away from this case to represent Diddy. We're talking about a guy that would behead people and put their heads on pikes.
I've done that. Whoever his lawyer is. Well, that's not even Saul Goodman. This is some Ace Attorney shit.
Only counts he has been found guilty of are the transportation to engage in prostitution. And I want to say that comes with a possible prison sentence of 10 years in prison.
Oh, no. I guarantee you he paid off everybody. If I had as much money, bro has enough money to, he owns a 2-star island. Like the amount of wealth that he could give the jury and the judge from this is ridiculous. See, what I think should happen whenever you've got somebody with this much wealth, you should have a jury of judges. Each one of them a judge. Every last one of them should be a judge. From a different, like even from a different state even. I'll take that. And you know why? It's because there's a chance that if, as long as you don't get like some random Joe Smo off the street, there is a chance that some of them are more concerned about the law than they are trying to make some money. And that chance is definitely higher than if someone like me got up in there, because I'd be like, yeah, how much money? How much? Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. You know, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Nope. Nuh-uh. You ain't getting it from me. See what I'm saying?
We're dealing with
what? I've done that.
But there is a crowd gathered here outside the courtroom. There are a slew of Diddy supporters out here who have come every single day. It looks like...
I cannot believe he might actually walk. This is insane that all of these guys are right.
And that is this. Sean Diddy Combs acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering.
That is crazy.
Racketeering is the most serious charge. That was count one. That would have put him behind bars for the rest of his life. Not guilty on that charge. So to recap of the 5...
You know the Joker don't play that, baby.
That's crazy. That is insane. Bro is gonna get away scot-free. And he did so much.
Fucking psycho. The question, did he do it? I don't think anybody could have predicted this, but somehow the answer seems to be no.
Crossing on the wires right now.
Here we go.
Sean Diddy Combs is found not guilty on the racketeering conspiracy charge in this federal case. The verdict on the 4 remaining counts are not read yet.
No fucking way.
Here's another alert. Combs found not guilty in the sex trafficking of his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Here's another one. Combs found, okay, so this is count 2 now. Combs found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs found...
Which is like, that's nothing. Oh, driving a hoe around? Fuck, I've done that.
Guilty of sex trafficking, and that applies to the girlfriend who went by the pseudonym as the name Jane. Okay. And CB, I'll bring you in. I want to read one more alert here because some of this seems to be a bit of a duplicate as it's coming in.
Apparently, there's also a guy. There's also a guy who's gonna have to go into hiding if Diddy gets out, because apparently, I think it was like a security guard. Apparently, he was also one of the people that ratted on him. Unfortunately, so he's gonna have to go into hiding now. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy how it's going. Lots of these people. Oh yeah, no, a lot of these people are screwed, man. A lot of these people that came forward, they're so screwed.
Transportation to engage in prostitution with the former girlfriend who I just mentioned as Jane. So those are 5 quick alerts that just came up on the Reuters wire, and we're awaiting more from inside the courtroom as we speak.
Whoever his lawyer is?
Bro, whoever his lawyer is about to get a huge payout. Whoever his lawyer is about to get a massive payout.
I feel like that guy can quadruple his rate and still have that shit be on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that dude is like, that's some fucking, what's that dude? That guy's name? Oh my god. That's not even Saul Goodman. That's like fucking Ace. This is some Ace Attorney shit.
Yeah, this is like some Sherlock Holmes kind of style stuff. Like, the fact that he's actually getting this guy out of here, I can't even like fathom this.
Does that
the fact that he did all that and he might not even serve a single day in jail really kind of shows the dystopian future that we live in.
With what you have down there at court.
Oh, this is nuts.
Bill, so what I'm looking at, count 1 through 5, the only count that I see that Diddy has been found guilty.
Wait. Who is Johnny Cochran? No way that's Diddy's lawyer.
I don't think that's his lawyer. Oh my god, it is. What?
No way. It's not? It was.
I think he's dead, isn't he?
I think this is from back in the day.
Oh,
like, this photo was taken in 1994, okay?
There's no way he's still alive.
He dead? Then it's probably not him.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution as it pertains to Diddy's ex-girlfriend and accuser, Cassie Ventura.
I am, and apparently, one of them wanted to stay anonymous, and the court's throwing it out because they wanted to stay anonymous. One of the ladies.
4 counts I am seeing.
And another thing that I've heard is, so Diddy has text messages of the 2 girls, and both of them consented via text message, but then later stated in court that they didn't want to say no because they knew how much power Diddy had. But it's like, I kind of understand why they would throw those out, because it is like, you consented to this. If you didn't want to do it, you should have just said no. And if you know, like, I mean, there is, it's so convoluted. Like, it's such a gray area.
So I'm seeing Diddy has been found guilty on 2 counts, the transportation to engage in prostitution counts.
I don't care about that.
It's the only counts he has been found guilty of are the transportation to engage in prostitution. And I want to say that comes with a possible prison sentence of 10 years in prison, and we're working to learn more. But there is a crowd gathered here outside the courtroom. I'm not sure who is among this crowd, but Bill and Dana, I know you've been watching the trial closely, and you know there are a slew of Diddy supporters out here who have come every single day. It looks like...
I cannot believe that they were actually... I cannot believe he might actually walk. This is insane that all...
No, I guarantee you he's going to walk. Rich people don't go to jail. That's not how it works in America. Rich people don't go to jail.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. No, he's going to walk. That guy looks a lot like Shaq.
What appears to be one of Diddy's supporters is out here in front of the courthouse explaining to cameras perhaps why he believes his someone he supports was
Not
vindicated
guilty.
of the most serious charge, racketeering conspiracy. There are hundreds of cameras, and we're waiting to get some more color from inside the courtroom.
got it.
But we know that jurors came back.
I think he got put up on bail, and then he made it. He made bail, and then I think he went straight to his island.
Today.
CB, I'll let you go.
All right, man. See you in a bit.
Some more news down there. I just want to repeat the main headline.
Stuntman 89
Combs acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering. The racketeering is the most serious charge. That was count one. That would have put him behind bars for the rest of his life. Not guilty on that charge. So to recap, of the 5 counts, 3 not guilty, Dana, and 2 guilty in Manhattan.
That's crazy.
This is monumental, Elizabeth. We've been covering this case for 2 months, really for more than a year at this point in time. We are seeing about the actual verdict here. And just for the, I want to understand, count 1 was the most serious charge, carrying up to a life sentence. He has been found not guilty of racketeering conspiracy RICO.
Bro, the freak offs from this man getting out are gonna be unreal. The freak offs, the baby oil is gonna be fucking scarce when this man gets out. Bro, you gonna be going to the store to get some Johnson & Johnson baby oil, and you ain't gonna see none of it, dude. The entire shelves are gonna be cleaned. We gonna have, like, people doing freak offs in the street. It's gonna be crazy.
Not guilty.
And you know what's even crazier is because he's gonna get off with this, he's just gonna do it more. It's just gonna give him more of a reason to do it.
Sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. She testified for days. We're also learning that he has been found guilty of the transportation to engage in prostitution count involving Cassie Ventura.
Yeah.
He has been found not guilty of sex trafficking of Jane, who is the...
That's a huge one. Sex trafficking, I think, was another like 20-year sentence. They don't play around with sex trafficking.
You just can't stand seeing a black man in the White House. I thought we just got done watching that one video about how Trump was the first black president. What do you mean? Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
To engage in prostitution. Now, Elizabeth,
You dumb?
this is very, very significant. We had an inkling yesterday when there was a hung jury on the initial RICO charge, the most serious, that there might be an actual acquittal there or a hung jury.
Oh my God.
The prosecutors
Dude, there's no way he didn't just pay everybody off. Because, like, look, at the end of the day, nobody wants to go to jail. If I was in Diddy's shoes and I did all that crazy shit, I would throw whatever amount of money I had at my disposal to not go to jail. I would. I'd do it in a heartbeat. And can you blame him? I think anybody in his position would have done the same. Even if he is guilty of everything, and even if he is a bad actor, I think anyone would have done the same thing.
Me more broadly here, because the Prostitution Act, people thought it was kind of a low-hanging fruit.
Why you always?
He
That's
was
what they
found guilty
say.
of those, but not sex trafficking of Cassie.
This is the best possible outcome for the defense. This is
Just say,
what, of course, they wanted
Just
a full
say
acquittal.
it's a Diddy W. Just say it's a
Diddy W?
It obviously is. You might not like it, but it is.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty mind blown whenever I found out that he was gonna get away with this. I really was.
The most serious charges he has been acquitted on. The jury
Start using vegetable. That's why we have to start using vegetable oil.
It did not line up with those charges. So,
and by the way, on that point, let's talk a little bit about that, because there was an inkling for those people who had been in the courtroom, including ourselves, who had been watching the testimony. Remember what they were using as a defense to counter the sex trafficking. It was free will. They were talking about free will. And they were suggesting, while the prosecution said any bait and switch or manipulation to coerce these women by fraud or threat or otherwise to engage in these so-called freak-offs, that force, that cloud of force and threat and violence that hung over the head of Cassie Ventura was enough to suggest that she never could develop the free will to say no. And when it came to Jane, the idea of manipulating her to travel to places like New York under the pretenses of quality time and shopping, only to then engage in freak-offs, was enough of manipulation. Well, the defense, was very clear. They kept saying free will. These are grown women. It seems that the jurors maybe looking at
that's what I was saying earlier. Like, they agreed to do it. That's the thing. Even if they went somewhere for the purpose of doing shopping, if you agree to the other stuff, it is free will. Like, I mean, I know that it's like, I know that it's like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z, but at the end of the day, you could have said no. You should have said no if you didn't want to. Just because you fear someone's power and wealth doesn't give you the right to sit here and do that. If that's the case. If that's the case. Now, what happened behind closed doors, we don't know. You know, this is a long shot, but seeing things going on with our president, all the type of shit seems to be why all this happening, if that makes sense. No, it does. There's a lot of stuff being moved around. I'd imagine there's a lot of big money people that are either shaking in their boots or ready to I guess take back the Thunderdome, as it were. I'll start playing horror games at 11 at 11 o'clock, so an hour and 15 more minutes.
Testimony agreed with that sentiment.
Absolutely, and we were just talking about some of those text messages that came in, and let's dig into them a little bit deeper. As I said, nothing about this is black and white. I have covered many high-profile sex crimes cases with famous defendants, and the concept of consent can be very hard for a jury to understand, especially when you have...
Not really. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. If you say yes, it means yes, no means no.
To do this freak off. Now again, these women on the stand said that they texted those things to simply placate Sean Combs.
She hit the like button. I've only got one like for the stream, man. What's going on? Got all these chit chatters and no likes.
How can you make a decision based off of that? Some girl says yes, but then later on she says she was scared. So now it was rape? So at what point? Like, that's insane.
It is. Like that, like she probably, so for example, Ninja, he's like, I don't want to be alone in a room with a girl. And you could be in a room with somebody for 5 minutes. And this isn't every person, okay? This isn't every single female on the planet. But they're going to automatically be like, oh, well, things happened in there. And it's like, what? You know, like, so like, you really have to be careful nowadays if you've got a lot of money. You got to be careful, man.
Who was physically beaten. Our team got that on.
This doesn't work with anything else.
No, it doesn't.
The jury saw that numerous times.
Crazy.
The jury is leaving the courtroom right now. Their job is done.
That's consent, yeah.
Right now. So the duty done. They have been there for 7 weeks, and they just...
All right, man.
This is, I mean, really, it is a stunning turn of events. It's a
You have to prove coercion by force. Sounds like they failed to.
Yeah. From yesterday when they were deadlocked, but also remember, this is the beginning of day 3. This jury reached a verdict in under 15 hours after hearing 2 months of testimony.
15 hours.
2 months of testimony.
I would anticipate that the
That's
defense
crazy.
is right now, but Sean Combs will still be serving prison time.
Yes.
These are still 2 charges that each carry 10 years. Now, Laura, I actually want to hear, as a former federal prosecutor,
I don't know how long
you may not want to make this prediction, but how much of that time do you anticipate that he would serve? What do you think that the judge may sentence him at, with each of these charges carrying 10 years each?
Still facing
Great
20
question.
years.
First, let me just dab the
Not gonna
sweat
go
off
jail
my
for
brow,
20
because let me tell you something.
Very
I was
unlikely.
sprinting from the court trying to get here for this moment because I was so eager to understand what the actual verdict would be that I'm literally doing an affair to remember sprint through the streets of Manhattan trying...
When underage people were involved, they can't give consent. There wasn't enough proof for that. That's disappointing.
Yeah, like, it seems like a lot of these things are allegations at this point. I'm typically not the one that's like, oh, well, you know, they can find something. The thing is if they can't prove that he did these things, they're all allegations. Like, that's just how it is. And my thing is like, if the court of law, I think he's a bad character. I really do. I don't understand how he's even able to get out of this.
I think that he's a bad actor. I
do.
do.
Yeah.
But he got off.
to get here, and on the way, people were asking, is there a verdict? Through the streets of Manhattan, that's how people have been viewing this particular case. And here's the thing, after almost 8 weeks, SDNY has a success rate of conviction of over 90.
Obviously, it ain't enough. Yeah, he's going to be getting off from this. I can't believe that. Bro's probably not going to serve a single day in jail, and even if he does, he's probably going to go to, like, a prison where every day is, like, a 2-day sentence or whatever. He'd probably get his own nice little place, and you know, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Whether that's a good or bad thing, who knows? Let's see. There was another one here. Ah!